channel. I am the principal painter and I am starting my collab with Mystria Diamonds on Lovely Lumina. Hashtag Lovely Lumina, capital L in that hashtag if you want to share your progress and collab along with us. This is going to be so much fun. I've got everything kitted up. You can see I'm in my Craftmates lockables because I'm not done with Melody and wanted to get her kitted up because tonight was my night to do my whip and chat. If you will notice, glam nails. No, I have not been to the salon. And no, the nails don't match the canvas because that's Brandy Mystria Diamonds jam. But I gotta keep up with her and the nails. So Marlon and I actually watched a video from Miss Crochet and Coffee where she introduced these nails and it's called All Dashing. And I ordered 4 sets of them because guys, these are 10 bucks a piece. 10 bucks. I mean, if I went to the salon to do this to my nails, it would be between 40 and 50 bucks. So I just got some sets of these. Again, go to Miss Crochet and Coffee's channel. She does an entire demo on how you put them on. This took me probably 10 to 15 minutes to do. They're press-ons, they last, they're durable. I got kitted up, I had to pop open stuff, and they're still looking great. And she has a code, Alicia50, ALISHIA50, and I will absolutely put this in the description below. You can buy one and get 50%, buy one and the next one is 50% off. But again, these are 10 bucks a piece, guys. And from what Miss Crochet and Coffee said, she had her hands in Clorox water and these things lasted. So I just keep looking at my nails because I haven't had my nails done in forever, but I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so I got animal print. I got some plaids and glitter. Some more plaids and glitter. My school colors are maroon and white, so I liked that. And then this is the set that I put on today. And again, it's blue and it's sparkly and pretty. So love those. All right, let's get back to this whip and chat. So I am just now laying the first drills down on this canvas. I have a crystal ball pen because this is a square painting. And I single place squares. I'm just, again, a hidden type A and I like them to go straight. And when I try to multi-place on a square, it sometimes doesn't work. So I start out, I don't know where everyone else starts out on a diamond painting. I start out on the lower right-hand side. I'm right-handed. I figure if I get the right side done, then I won't be sticking my hand in the glue. And I do use the checkerboard method on squares so they straighten each other out. Okay, so Brandy and I discussed, okay, what are we going to talk about during this collab and our whip and chats? And we decided because we're educators, we can talk about education. Again, no names, no identification due to confidentiality, but I have had some really fun, strange, interesting experiences as an educator. I, again, went to university in Texas to become a teacher. I changed my major 3 times. I started out as a psychology major, then changed to dance. But the dance department at my university was modern, and I didn't want to be a growing tree or a spider on the wall anymore, so I ditched that. And then got into education and absolutely loved it, made straight A's in all my courses and knew this was what I wanted for myself. So I graduated. My parents said we will pay for 4 years of college. That's it. Do not be an eternal college student. And I took a semester extra because I changed my major, again, 3 times. But when I graduated in December. And so, you know, when I got out of college and was ready to look for a job, it was January. So the pickings were kind of slim and there weren't, you know, many opportunities in January to look for a job. You normally look for a job at the beginning of the school year, which is August or September, or, you know, a little before that in May or June. So I substitute taught. The district I substitute taught in was the district that I went to school in. I went to elementary there, and then when we moved back, after we moved to Virginia, went back to that particular district. Well, when I first got out of college, I got a call. I'd applied to sub in the district, and so I go to the school to sub. It's a 5th grade classroom. It's in a not so great part of town. Not great at all. When I got there, again, I'm fresh, bright-eyed, big old bow in my hair from college going, oh yes, I'm gonna do this. The principal was in the classroom, the AP was in the classroom. I mean, there were several adults in the classroom, and I knew probably that this was gonna be a little wild. And so the principal comes up to me, literally puts her hands on my shoulders and says, if you have any trouble at all, you call here's the buzzer for the office, you call. And I'm going, oh, okay. I mean, I'm thinking, wow, these are 5th graders. How bad can they be? And they were bad. Again, it was a bad area of town. I mean, literally there was a hole in the fence at the back of the property of the school where kids were, leaving school to go home. So I kind of got to see that firsthand. But, I just feel like if you build really good relationships with kids, you're going to get the best out of them. So after literally pulling my hair out the first hour I was there and trying to get them to complete the work they needed to complete, and they were like, no, we're not doing that. I finally said, okay, here's the deal. You guys work for an hour, and then I will give you a break for 10 minutes, and you can get, that was back when Walkmans were big and everything else. I can't believe how long ago this was, and they responded well to it. And at the end of the day, I walked to the principal's office to sign my sub paperwork. You've got to sign some paperwork to get your money, whatever. The principal comes out, and she's actually, well, she's retired now, but she ended up being an assistant superintendent for the district I was working for as a sub. But she came out, and it was almost like she was ready for me to scream, yell, cry, whatever. She's like, how did it go? I said, it went okay. I struggled, but we came to an understanding. And she looked at me and she goes, can you come back tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. I now know the kids, so I know what we need to do. And she's like, I've gone through 5 subs before you. I can't believe you're coming back. And I'm like, yeah, I'll come back. I said, we figured it out. We'll move on. So that was fun. And then a job came open, and we had a neighbor, and I was living at home at the time. Again, I was right out of college, and a job came open. It was a 4th grade teaching position at my very first elementary school I ever taught at. And the principal at the time, the school is now named after her. She was a smoker, and she passed away from complications from emphysema. And I remember interviewing with her. And I probably waited an hour and a half to even interview. And this is where I get kind of irritated with applicants that come in and go, I'll only teach 1st grade, and it only has to be this. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, you need to be prepared to teach on the roof. If you're certified for it, if you want a job, that's what you need to take. I mean, again, it was my first year of teaching. And so she was like, I'm so sorry you had to wait. And I'm like, I actually would have waited for forever to talk to you. And there were 2 kids that came to the office to see her in the middle of all this, and they were pretty rowdy, and they ended up being in my 4th grade class because I got the job. So that was fun. So my first 4th grade class, the teacher that vacated the spot in January apparently was an alternatively certified teacher. I am not, okay, let me stop right here. I am not saying that alternatively certified teachers are subpar. They are not. I have had alternatively certified teachers that were teachers of the year on my campus and district teachers of the year, and they were phenomenal. And absolutely do not shy away from hiring alternatively certified teachers. I don't. But this one was subpar. I went in after I got the job. They said, can you go, just observe him for a day? And I'm like, sure. So I go observe him. They were doing a plant. This was a math science position. So they were doing a plant experiment. These kids were dragging potting soil all over that classroom. When I tell you, he left the coffee in his coffee mug when he left. He couldn't have gotten out of there any faster. You know the really cute calendars in classrooms where teachers have the cute backdrops and they've got the little numbers that are flowers in May or umbrellas for April, whatever. I'm not kidding. His calendar was a generic calendar with ripped pieces of paper for the numbers. This was how bad. There was no construction paper because he had run out, because he had let them draw instead of doing what they needed to be doing. Recess was 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, to get these, and these were great kids. And again, I continue to be in the district I'm in because it's a great district, great families, everything. I remember my PTA room mom came in one day. I had her daughter. Her daughter and I still remain in contact. And she was like, I have a table to set refreshments on. It used to be piled with stuff. I'm like, yeah, I stayed in that classroom the first day I got there, probably until midnight, cleaning up. In addition, this is really sad, hiding the goodbye gifts the kids had given this teacher because he left them. He did not even take them with him. So I took them and I hid them because I didn't want them to know that. That was crazy. But we had a great, half a year together, and I'm still in contact with a lot of those kids. I've been to their weddings. I've watched their kids be born. It's been an awesome, awesome journey. So after that, continued to teach 4th grade. And then my principal passed away, and we got a new principal, and she was a phenom. She was awesome. Continues to be one of my dearest friends to this day, and is a superintendent in another district. And I continue to call her for advice on a multitude of things because she's a brilliant woman. And she came up to me one day and said, Kara, I don't think you need to wait until you're 40 to go get your admin degree. I think you'd make a great administrator. And I'm like, what? Really? Okay. So started taking classes, got my degree, and then became what's called an instructional coordinator. And I loved that job because instructional coordinators, you're not an AP, you're not an actual administrator, so you're not evaluating teachers, you're one of the good guys. So I loved that job, helped teachers with resources, met with them on, oh, you're struggling with this, let me help you with that. And did that for a year, and then the assistant principal at the school left to take on another administrative role in another district. And I will say the best administrative interview I've ever had was with my principal at the time. She contacted me, and I was actually on vacation, and I was literally in a bathing suit having a margarita by the pool, and she was like, you want the job? I'm like, yes, this is fantastic. So I always say that's the best interview I've ever had. So I became an instructional coordinator, and I had just had my son Doug, my oldest, and I'd bring him up to school when I was on maternity leave, and he'd be in his little carrier, and I'd be counting science supplies out for the science team and getting stuff all together, because that's just what you do in education. You just make it work. So that was a fun time. And then again, became an assistant principal, and the rest is kind of history. And I was the youngest. Okay, what's going on? I was the youngest principal ever to be named after I worked with the administrator I told you about. Okay, this is just not laying down like I want it. No. then she left to open an elementary campus in our district, and I got another principal who was equally as phenomenal and continues to be a dear friend to this day. She was funny. She's from deep East Texas, and they have an accent, and she always called me Fluffy. She's like, Kara, you're just fluffy. And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't know. You just like all the bulletin board stuff and everything else. And there was one day we had a weekly bulletin that we would put out to the staff. And at the end of the bulletin, I always featured a quote. Well, I didn't want to overstep my bounds with this new principal, so she's like, Kara, you got the bulletin ready? And I'm like, yes, I do. Would you like to put in a quote at the end of the bulletin? And she was like, quote? What the hell are you talking about? And I said, well, we always put an inspirational quote at the end of the bulletin to, just inspire the staff and make sure everybody's doing okay. And she goes, I got a quote for you. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. There's your quote. And I was like, I don't think we can put that in the bulletin. It's funny. However, yeah, no, probably not. She's like, well, think of a quote and put it in there. So yeah, I have had some very, very unique experiences as an educator. And I'm sure Mystria will have several stories. Actually, Mystria has stories this year of fart spray. Yes, the children loved fart spray. I hope she brings that up because that is so funny, because I've had experiences with fart spray as well. It's not pleasant. It's awful. It's the worst smell you've ever smelled in your entire life. And it's a spray, so it lasts forever. Good times. Good times. All right. Well, I think I have blabbed on long enough. I'm going to let you go. And I will definitely have more principal stories, more educational stories for you coming up in the future. Do not forget, again, we are doing this. Just comment on the video, whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it. Any of you educators out there that have anything to say to me, I'd love to hear it. And again, we'd love to have you along for the ride. Do you have to be doing Lumina? No, you don't. Again, we're trying to make it easy on people. So comment on the videos and we will do a random comment picker and pick our door prizes. And we are doing weekly door prizes. I'm going to start mine next week because I need to discuss with Brandy how we want to handle that. But I will tell you, one of them is actually this diamond painting pen. Well, it's not this one. I have new ones, but it says Starry Sky and it has a crystal ball on the end of it, kind of gypsy-like. So I thought that would be fun for a weekly giveaway. I've got Paddywaxx. You know I've got Paddywaxx out the gazoo. So we'll be giving away some of that and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time. So post your pictures on Instagram. If you do not have Instagram and would like us to post for you, send them to us. We certainly will. I hope you have a great night, guys. I'm excited to start this collab. She is going to be awesome. It's going to take me a little bit longer to do her because she's a square. And I just, again, I'm looking at this and straightening. Again, I've just got to turn off the light pad and go, okay, this is going to be fine. It's not all that crooked, so we'll see. It was lovely to be with you guys this evening. I hope everyone has a great night and a great weekend. Just want to remind you before I leave, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. If you've just joined me and would like to subscribe to the channel, I love to have new people joining me. It's always so much fun to meet new people and I enjoy it. So hit the subscribe button. It's the red arrow on YouTube, and hit the bell because I upload videos on a regular basis and you never know when they'll upload. So again, this is the Principal Painter, and I am signing off.